Welcome to episode 2 of See Mom Learn. The Wizard of Oz, Milli Vanilli, Enron, and the Real Housewives of wherever are just a few examples of the pressure of keeping up appearances. And if you're a believer, sharing your faith can be another. It's easy to fall into the pitfall of trying to prove you live up to your own goals and standards, much less the gospel of a faith journey. Sharing or demonstrating your faith is also known, right, as letting your light shine. See Matthew 5:16. And it doesn't have to be performative. This episode of See Mom Learn is about what I'm learning about embodying the faith that I possess. Like, is loving my neighbor or even loving a would-be enemy about the words? Some would say yes, because words are really powerful. Or is it about the actions, right? Some would say yes, because actions speak louder. What I'm learning and continuing to learn is that it's about both. 1 Timothy 4:16 reads, "Watch your life and your doctrine closely. Persevere in them, because if you do, you'll save both yourself and your hearers." About 100 years before the start of World War II, a little girl named Abbie was born the fourth of 9 children. She was destined to fight a different kind of battle. Abbie's father, Samuel Burgess, was a lighthouse keeper for Maine, which at the time was a presidential appointment. Abbie's mom suffered from a great illness that made her incapacitated, so a 15-year-old Abbie became the part-time fill-in for her dad's lighthouse duties. When Abbie was learning her trade, she stumbled upon an old lighthouse log that recorded storms that had destroyed the old lighthouse keeper residence. In fact, although her family didn't live there yet, the last storm happened to fall upon the year she was born. The potential for another storm alarmed Abbie. What if there was another gale? What about her immobile mother? What about her younger siblings? Well, losing no time, Abbie convinced her father to move her mother's bedroom into the lighthouse structure itself. Soon after, her father unexpectedly had to travel for supplies, and he left Abbie in charge. Within a month, her foresight would have saved not only her mother's life, but her family's life as well. She's a mold breaker, a heroine, and an inspiration. Let's take a moment to reflect. I'm exploring what it means to let my life shine, and my daughter finds a children's book on the young, brave lighthouse keeper who literally is known for letting her light shine. Back then, it was a hazardous job of clearing ice from glass, replacing oil for the fire, and checking the fire all through the night to be sure it had not blown out. Trained by her father, she also allowed historical record of the log to inform her skill, and then worked hard to protect the lighthouse and her family. What can a mom learn from a teenage girl acting as a lighthouse keeper way back when? Well, I find that I'm learning a lot. First, Abbie bloomed where she was planted. When tapped for this demanded, crucial, and dangerous job, she didn't back away. She was called to let her light shine, but in a highly specific and specified way. When God taps us with an unexpected call, I hope my response is like Abbie's response to her father. She learned from mentors placed in her path, and this influenced her actions. It fueled her. Secondly, Abbie learned from history, which in this case was an old lighthouse keeper's log. This she adapted as a doctrine of sorts. I hope to seek out and learn from those who have gone before me. Heroes in the faith and in history can be an accelerant to our lights as we seek to shine them. Lastly, Abbie combined her life and her doctrine into a fire that burned specifically to save ships from crashing into rocky shores. Her faithfulness impacted people she'd never even met. Had she waited for external recognition, for approval, for a hype woman or a wingman, she may have missed out on her destiny. And ultimately, she saved those closest to her, her mother and her siblings, simply by taking seriously the things that she did know. She was totally prepared when the unknown came. So Abbie acted on faith and applied what she learned in life and in doctrine to embody that faith, to let her little light shine. I imagine what would have happened if, in fear, she had just gone into her prayer closet and stayed there without acting. She surely would have been washed away. but instead she ushered in a miracle with doing what she knew how to do and doing it to the best of her ability. James 2:16 reads, "If one of you says to them, 'Go in peace, keep warm and well fed,' but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it?" Today, consider how you can do one action that embodies a standard and an inspiration from a mentor or a hero. For me, I'm exploring Matthew 5:16 as my standard and thinking of Abbie Burgess as my hero. My action is to do some tidying up to prepare my home for hosting friends and family this winter. What will you decide to do as a manifestation of letting your light shine? Until next time, sending you love, light, and living books from See Mom Learn.